The Andy Griffith Show, weekdays at 5:30.
This is WFMY TV. News 2 tonight, working for Piedmont people.
Good evening. Sandra and Bill have the night off. We hope this Christmas Day has filled you with warmth, joy, and Thanksgiving. Nowhere will you find those feelings more evident than on Gregory Street in Greensboro. Two brothers there are reunited for the first time in 18 years. Dave Wright reports that for 2 decades they've searched for each other and they never gave up.
Kenny and Tommy Jones were close brothers in a terrible family situation which split them apart 18 years ago. Tommy ended up with a loving grandmother in Greensboro. Kenny moved from foster home to foster home in Kansas, and they missed each other.
Right after they had put me up for adoption, you know, even in the foster homes and all, I'd wanted to find him, you know, and several times I tried to run away, but I couldn't remember how to get back here.
Finally, Tommy's hunt ended when he discovered that Kenny had been adopted by the Watermans in Kansas.
I was really nervous that he wouldn't, you know, he just wouldn't want to care to come back and relive the memories. But I was really excited at the same time because I didn't know he was alive and where he was at.
He sent Kenny a telegram asking him to call.
I got so excited I couldn't remember how to dial a phone, you know, and after I called him and I talked to him, and I just, you know, I lit up brighter than a Christmas tree.
Tommy drove to Topeka, Kansas for the reunion.
We were like just stunned for a second, you know, because the last time I'd seen him, he was 7 and he was taller than me.
It seemed like time had just stood still, and, you know, just for a couple minutes, I was just speechless.
Back of the search for all those years was the boy's grandmother, Thelma.
For some reason, I just knew we'd find him. I knew we'd find him sooner or later. So when he called, I told him, I said, I got your fire truck. And he was happy.
She had saved the Christmas gifts she had bought for him 18 years ago, including the $6 million man still wrapped in cellophane.
Just gave her a big hug, and it just felt like home again.
In Greensboro, this is Dave Wright, News 2 Tonight.
Kenny says he grew up believing that no one in his family loved or even wanted him. Well, this Christmas, he has found the truth. The search continues tonight for a man who disappeared from a Winston-Salem nursing home on Wednesday. The police used a helicopter to look for any signs of the missing man today. Family members say 68-year-old Rayburn Duncan has Alzheimer's disease, and he may have been confused and just wandered away from Forsyth Village. The cold temperatures have family members more worried than ever.
I'm just praying wherever he's at, is somebody that's taking care of him and keeping him safe and warm.
If you have any information about Mr. Duncan's whereabouts, the Winston-Salem Police Department wants your help. You can contact them at 773-7700. And this Christmas morning turned tragic in Sampson County when someone trying to light a kerosene heater ignited a house on fire, killing 1 man. The flames forced as many as 7 people out in the cold following a long night of partying. Firefighters still are not sure how many people were staying in this dilapidated house in Clinton. Barbara Rich lived here until the small explosion and fire left her homeless.
And then I was once the house on fire. I did that and ran, and I knocked on all these doors right here. I didn't get no answer.
Firefighters say the house was fully engulfed in flames when they arrived. One of the owners of the home says it was about to be condemned. Those living at the house are staying with friends and family members tonight. The identity of the man killed in the fire has not yet been released. Another Christmas Day fire extensively damaged this home on Highway 158 in Clemens. Fire investigators are looking for the cause of the blaze. No one was home when the fire broke out just before 7 this morning, and so, of course, no one was injured. Freezing temperatures may have been a factor in a third Christmas Day fire. Firefighters in Liberty say someone used a blowtorch to thaw frozen pipes, accidentally igniting this fire and completely destroying this apartment. No one was injured in the blaze. It is a Christmas tradition that has lasted a decade. The annual dinner at Ham's Restaurant. Owner Charlie Irwin and other volunteers spent the day cooking for and feeding the homeless and the elderly who couldn't get out in the cold weather. They served up more than 1,000 pounds of turkey and ham along with all the trimmings. And there were gifts for the children, too. The spirit of the season was also evident at Michael's restaurant in Winston-Salem. Volunteers there helped make sure those in need at least got a hearty meal for Christmas. The upscale eatery served several hundred meals throughout the day, including those delivered to the homes of shut-ins. Some Greensboro residents were busy this Christmas hammering sets and setting up tote boards for the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars telethon tomorrow night. News 2 anchors Bill Copald and Sam Crenshaw will provide local coverage at the Airport Marriott. Proceeds from the annual telethon will benefit the United Negro College Fund and will be televised across the nation. UNCF provides support to 41 historically black colleges and universities, including Bennett College in Greensboro. You can watch the telethon on WFMY TV beginning at 7:30 tomorrow night. Well, if you're not watching TV this weekend, chances are you'll be taking in a movie. A lot of people do during the holidays. In fact, Hollywood counts on the Christmas season for a large part of its business. The studios usually try to offer something for everyone, but there are some favorites.
The whole windward division off the base.
Have you seen any other holiday movies yet?
I've seen Toys. I've seen Home Alone 2.
What's good, Toys or Home Alone 2 or both?
I like Home Alone 2 and Aladdin.
Aladdin's good. You'd recommend it?
Yeah.
One new movie in the theaters this weekend is Hoffa, starring Jack Nicholson and Danny DeVito. It is the story of former Teamsters Union leader Jimmy Hoffa. You know, it's turning out to be a great season for North Carolina ski resorts. If you're planning to hit the slopes over the holidays, you may come across someone with quite a different mission when it comes to skiing. A minister on the mountain with an unusual way of spreading the word. Terry Shields has our report.
If you want to learn about grace on skis, ask Tom Moore. Aside from being an expert skier, Tom is the head chaplain for North Carolina's Resort Area Ministries.
Jesus. There you go.
You'll recognize these ski slope Samaritans by their blue parkas and embroidered crosses. Or you'll recognize them by their acts of courtesy and kindness.
You okay?
Yeah. For more than a decade, Tom has been recruiting and training Christian volunteers to patrol the ski slopes of the North Carolina mountains.
We don't train our volunteers to go out and try to evangelize anybody while they're here. We're very sensitive to that. Part of what our courtesy patrolling is here is just going along, picking up the skis and the poles and helping the folks down in this kind of situation.
I fell down about 5 times.
She's got a little frustrated coming down. She's improving. She just doesn't believe it.
This Christian courtesy patrol has found that on the slopes, acts of kindness can speak louder than words when it comes to spreading the gospel.
It's not a shove the Bible down your throat, preach at people on the slopes. It's just to come help people have a better day, enjoy themselves on the slopes.
At this time of year, their message of goodwill and peace on earth comes through loud and clear.
We get a lot out of it just from the fact that people say thank you, we appreciate your help. You've helped us to have a better day while we're here.
Ah! Be nice to these guys. You never know when you might need them. Yeah, I guess so. Oh! Thanks, Tom.
Terry Shields for CBS News.
That's what I look like. Well, right now there are about 100 volunteers who patrol Beech, Appalachian, and Hawks Nest each day. Well, there's no snow in sight here in the Piedmont, but it sure feels cold enough to ski. Mary Beth's outdoors with the weather and shivering by the tree out there.
Susan, speaking of skiing, I will have a ski report coming up for you on our upcoming forecast. But speaking of the temperatures outside, it really isn't all that chilly, especially when you compare it to last night when we got down to 17 degrees. Currently in Greensboro right now, we're sitting under cloudy skies. The temperature is 38. In High Point, it's also 38 degrees under cloudy skies, too. And in Winston-Salem, it's 39 degrees. The high temperature of the day is 39 degrees, the low 17. That's an attention getter, I'd say. Records for this state in history set back in 1955. The high was 74. And a low of 1 degree back in 1983. When you wake up tomorrow morning, look for decreasing cloudiness. Breezy and cold with morning lows in the upper 20s. There is a winter weather advisory in effect for the northern mountains of North Carolina tonight, and that includes Allegheny County, but that advisory does not affect the Piedmont Triad. We'll have all those details in the upcoming forecast.
Okay, thanks, Mary Beth.
Okay.
Well, straight ahead on News 2 tonight, we'll see how some Americans are spending their Christmas away from home. Stay tuned.
one day. Saturday, just 12 hours, then it's over.
Suddenly, the carpet you thought you couldn't afford becomes affordable at New York Carpet World. We're clearing the decks, emptying our racks, liquidating every excess carpet we own. The magic price, $488. We don't care what they cost. We don't care what their normal retail has been. It all goes at the magic price of $488 a yard. Out they go at the magic price, the affordable sellout price of $488. But the magic price will vanish after Saturday night, so hurry to New York Carpet World.
Traditionally, the period between Christmas and New Year's is a time for car sale. And traditionally, the best sale is always at Bob Dunn Ford, where you'll find every car from Escort to Taurus, every truck from Explorer to F-150, even used cars on sales at prices that has our competition talking and your friends and neighbors buying at Bob Dunn Ford. So take advantage of this tradition. Get yourself the best car truck at the best sale. Remember, no dealer anywhere gives you as good a deal as Bob Dunn Ford. Traditionally speaking, of course.
Dave Baldwin may not own a yacht, but like you, he makes sure the kids get new clothes when they need them. These are the basics, and now you can get something back just by the way you pay for them. The new GE Rewards MasterCard. With it, you can earn $10 checks good at places like Macy's and Kmart, and hundreds more in savings certificates. For your GE Rewards MasterCard, just call 1-800-GE-REWARD.
The body of a North Carolina man killed in Operation Restore Hope has arrived home at Dover Air Force Base in Delaware. Lawrence Friedman of Fayetteville died Wednesday when the vehicle he was riding in hit an anti-tank mine. Friedman, who was 51, was a civilian Army employee. He is the only American who has died in the mission in Somalia. American Marines and French Foreign Legion troops traveled deeper into Somalia this Christmas Day. The troops rolled into Hadur, the 6th town that military forces have taken since they landed in Somalia early this month. The soldiers secured roads in the town and gathered spent shells. They will clear landmines that are blocking the transportation of food into the interior of the country. Marines from the 81st Airborne Division took part in a Christmas tradition today. They sang holiday songs with their own Somalia twist. Instead of the 12 days of Christmas, they sang about the 12 days of Somalia. 7 swans of swimming were replaced by 7 teams of reporters. And they also offered a new version of Jingle Bells, singing about flying bullets and spent artillery shells. More than 400 Palestinians are spending this day stranded in no man's land. The Israeli cabinet voted today not to allow international Red Cross vehicles to pass through Israeli lines to reach them. They were expelled from Israel last week because the government says they have ties to Islamic extremists. The Israeli cabinet says the supplies could easily reach the deportees through Lebanon. At the camp, Palestinians prayed and cooked meals today as they huddled around tents pitched on a rocky hillside. 9 Muslim fundamentalists who had been hospitalized were forced to join the other deported Palestinians in the no man's land today. Thousands of Germans gathered in Berlin this Christmas night for a candlelight demonstration. They are denouncing the recent wave of racist violence sweeping the country. The protest comes as the end of a year marred by more than 2,000 violent rightist attacks in Germany, mostly against foreigners. Jewish memorials and cemeteries have been desecrated, and at least 17 people, mostly Germans, have been killed in the attacks. Well, coming up next on News 2 Tonight, Rob Goodman has highlights from today's NBA action. But first, Mary Beth says you'll need to bundle up for a chilly holiday weekend.
Zap the puck into 1993 with a laser-lit power play from WFMY TV and 104.1 WTQR. The Monarchs rule the Greensboro Coliseum ice for an electrifying weekend. It's meltdown for the Ice Caps as Raleigh skates in on Saturday, January 2nd at 7. Then, it's time to cut through the Bulls when Birmingham enters the ring Sunday at 6. Laser shows will ignite the Coliseum both nights, so let the Monarchs, 104.1 WTQR and WFMY TV, light your way into 93.
The new year is coming to a close. Buick wants your business. First, the facts. The renowned J.D. Power survey says Buick Regal is the best car in its price class. Buick LeSabre, named Car of the Year by Family Circle magazine. Century, built in the best plant for quality in North America. And Park Avenue named Best Domestic Value. Get into your Carolina Buick dealers now, and this new year, bring home the best.
Eat, chip, and dip pepperoni slices and cheese squares. Hey, you liked it as a kid.
Keep our holidays happy. If alcohol is involved, volunteer to be the designated driver. Miller Brewing Company in Channel 2 wish you a safe, happy holiday.
If you thought Christmas was over, the holidays might be over, but your Nissan dealers are still celebrating with great deals during our year-end sales event. Check out our bargains on sedans, like the Nissan Sentra with air conditioning, AM, FM, cassette, and cruise control, all at no extra charge. But remember, this deal only lasts as long as this year, so see your Nissan dealer today.
Well, now the tummies are full from eating a good, healthy holiday meal. A lot of you have been relaxing tonight, and some of you may have taken a look outside your window, may have seen a little stray flurry or a sprinkle. That's a result of a cold frontal system that is making its way over. You can see on the eastern radar picture right now, we have mainly spotty activity moving off to the east at a fairly quick rate, 20 to 30 miles an hour, and it should be wrapping up fairly shortly within the next several hours. All this precipitation extending from the northeast down through the mid-Atlantic states down into the southeast, and we'll zoom in on the radar picture and show you exactly where all the activity is right now. The temperature is still above the freezing mark, so mostly in the form of light rain, maybe a little patch of sleet or possibly even a stray flurry, but that is likely in the northern mountains and the foothills where the temperatures are below freezing right now. And you could see most of this action fairly light, and there's really not a whole lot of heavy precipitation to talk about. A little bit of light rain now in Randolph and Davidson, Davie County, Rowan County too. We'll take a look at the national satellite picture. Here is that cold front. It's going to swing through tonight, and following on its heels is some very cold Arctic air to talk about. Definitely weekend chills to report, and once you are heading out the door tomorrow, you'll certainly want to bundle up and dress appropriately, because afternoon temperatures are going to stay fairly chilly once again. Here's tomorrow's weather map. You can see that frontal system pushing off well off to the east. Cold air moving in as high pressure will be settling in. Once we work into the afternoon hours, I think we'll be seeing a lot in the way of sunshine. Meantime, up to the north in the Great Lakes area, definitely a white weekend. We have lake effect snow showers. The lake effect snow machine is turning on its engines. Tomorrow's highs, well, we'll be getting up to around, I'd say 38 to 42 degrees would be a good bet. So definitely you may want to dress in layers if you are heading out to the shopping malls. You'll want to take advantage of those after Christmas sales. Here's your ski report in case you want to head to the mountains tomorrow. Appalachian reporting pack powder conditions with a 20 to 24 inch base. 4 trails open there. Over in Hawks Nest, pack powder conditions too, a 10 to 32 inch base with 4 trails. And in Ski Beach, frozen granular surface with a 12 to 24 inch base and 9 trails open. Here's our forecast for tonight. Mostly cloudy skies, a stray sprinkle or a flurry still possible, with overnight lows dropping into the upper 20s. Coming up for tomorrow morning, decreasing clouds, breezy and cold with morning lows in the upper 20s. And for your afternoon, mostly sunny skies, still breezy, but kind of cold too, with afternoon highs near 40. And here's our 5-day forecast, a bright-looking holiday weekend. And finally, we'll be getting into some milder air once we work into the new work week. And maybe into the 50s come Tuesday and Wednesday, but so far it looks pretty dry for us tonight.
50s? Who thought that would feel warm, right?
This is the difference, too.
Well,
Happy New Year.
What's heating up in the sports tonight?
Heating up, hoops heating up, and, you know, there's one guy who's been very busy, and yet he's still delivering a football to a bowl game. But anyway, coming up, got some bowl stuff. There's the guy. He's delivering a bowl. He hasn't had enough to do in the last couple of days.
Gosh.
Anyway, basketball and football.
Lots of students dream of going to college, but because they can't meet the financial obligation, this dream never becomes a reality. Hi, I'm Mark McMullen. For over 50 years, the United Negro College Fund has helped dreams come true for these students. You can help by pledging your support to this year's campaign. Watch the Lou Rawls Parade of Stars telethon on Saturday, December 26th at 7:30 p.m. on WFMY TV. Remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Your
Your Carolina Ford dealers are going all out to maintain car and truck leadership for the 5th year in a row. So during their sales leadership clearance, Ford's offering a $500 special bonus savings on select 93 Ford Rangers. Add $1,150 in package savings, plus another $500 cash back from your Carolina Ford Dealers Association, and you could save yourself up to $2,150. Plus, buy any new Ford now and make no payments till April. But this cash back offer is good only until January 5th at your participating Carolina Ford dealer.
You're young. You're energetic. You've got your whole life ahead of you. But you can't read. Don't let a lack of reading skills spoil your dreams. Call Reading Connections. They can help you improve your reading and writing abilities and put you on the road to a brighter future. Call Reading Connections today at 230-2223. Learn to read. You'll be learning your way to a better life.
Come home to the warmth of the holidays with Wheel of Fortune.
It's Family Week
on Wheel of Fortune.
It's a week-long celebration as family members pair up for this yearly wheel tradition.
Been trying to do a couple of carols. Oh, doggone it, we don't. Well,
gather your family together and join in the holiday spirit with Santa, his reindeer, and plenty of fantastic presents.
Wishing you the best this holiday season.
There's no place like Wheel for the holidays on Wheel of Fortune.
Monday through Saturday at 7 p.m.
The Chicago Bulls are 17-7. The New York Knicks 16-7. Each leads its division. The two-time NBA champs hosted tonight's game, which could be a preview of the Eastern Conference Championship in the spring. Actually, that game is still going on. Got to show you the score, 77-68 in the fourth quarter, about 5 minutes to play. Michael Jordan already 33 points in that contest. Well, this afternoon's NBA offering had the San Antonio Spurs visiting the LA Clippers. New Spurs coach John Lucas looking for his second win in as many games. Remember, Jerry Tarkanian fired from that position, and Lucas got to be happy with Lloyd Daniels. Guy's playing well. Remember, he was with the Greensboro City Gators last year. Had 12 points today. J.R. Reed also 12 points. He came over from the Charlotte Hornets. Of course, you'll remember that as well. And here's Lloyd again from the corner, canning the trace, 54-46 San Antonio at the half. Second half, Clippers trying to make a run coming up late. Kenny Norman with the bucket here. That cuts the lead to 5, but on the very next San Antonio possession, David Robinson slams it home over 3 LA Clippers. And the final score, 103-94. The Spurs win 2. Spurs 94. The Spurs win 2 straight. Well, Clyde Drexler is expected to miss the next 2 Portland Trailblazer games because of a sore right knee. The 6-time All-Star has been slowed all season following surgery, which he had shortly after helping the U.S. team win the Olympic gold medal. Well, Christmas Day means the official start to the college football bowl season. Today's Aloha Bowl had Kansas taking on Brigham Young. Not a bad place to spend the Christmas holiday. How about a week on the island of Oahu in late December? Palm trees, coconuts. Sounds great. If today's game in Honolulu was any indication, going to be a heck of a bowl season. Opening kickoff, Hema Hamuli back deep for the Brigham Young Cougars. And watch him take it 95 yards down the sideline for the score. Aloha Bowl record, the longest kickoff return ever, 7-0, Cougars on top. Well, Kansas has the ball next. This is their first possession. Little flanker screen. Matt Gay down deep to Rodney Harris, 77 yards for this one. This game is tied at 7. Going to be a wild one, right? Yeah, it was a wild one. Move on to the fourth quarter, 20-12, Brigham Young. Kansas with the ball. Chip Hillary on the quarterback keeper takes it in for the score. 20-18, Brigham Young still on top. Jayhawks go for the 2-point conversion. Hillary again, a naked bootleg. 20-20, the game's tied. Move on in the fourth quarter. Jayhawks last possession. Dan Eicloff, a 48-yard field goal to win it. Wow, Kansas 23-20, a winner over the Brigham Young Cougars. Well, if you're a college football player and you're a senior, and your team doesn't get a bowl bid, the Blue-Gray Classic is one more chance to show the pro scouts you do indeed belong in the NFL. Some of these guys really trying to prove some things today. Fake field goal here for the blue team, and watch the gray guys having a tough time figuring out what's going on, but they do get him out of bounds, but he does get the first down. Then on the ensuing first down, and they get the next series here, Eric Gallen in for the score. Blue led it 14-0. This guy not really interested in the game too much, but the great team, coached by Maryland's Mark Duffner, quarterback Maryland's John Kaleo. They run the fumble rooski here. Jason Youngblood, the big guy, gets in for the score, and then John Kaleo brings them back, continuing the comeback, and the gray team wins it 27-17. Well, yesterday, Northern Durham football coach Kenny Browning was named the North Carolina High School Football Coach of the Year. Today, co-players of the year were named. They are Maidens Antoine Icard and Maurice Mebane of Burlington Cummings. Each player received 4 of a possible 16 votes. Mebane helped the Cummings Cavaliers win their 3rd state championship in 6 years. He finished his career with 292 receptions, becoming the nation's most prolific pass receiver ever. Mebane also became the first player in prep history to post back-to-back 100 reception seasons. Well, athletic director Ron Wellman won't confirm it, but it looks as though Wake Forest's search for a new football coach is just about over. Bill Dooley's successor will be Penn State assistant coach Jim Caldwell. He'll be the first black head football coach in ACC history. An official announcement that is expected on Sunday in Winston-Salem. Caldwell has been Joe Paterno's assistant in charge of quarterbacks for the last 7 seasons. He's an alumnus of the University of Iowa. Before coming to Penn State, he was at Colorado, Northwestern, and the Southern Illinois Salukis. Nice nickname there. Huh?
Sounds like he's more than qualified.
Yeah, I hope he is.
Okay. Well, coming up next, there's a different twist to that Swan Lake story. Don't go away.
Did you know that putting recyclables in the wrong bin can contaminate the whole load? That means everything in the bin has to be sent to the landfill. What can you do? Sort recyclables carefully and follow instructions exactly. And do not mix garbage in with recyclables. These are just a few things you can do to make recycling a success. Join WFMY TV in helping to keep the Piedmont evergreen.
If your party involves alcohol, be a real friend. Volunteer to be the designated driver for your group. Guilford Orthopedic Center and Channel 2 wish you a safe, happy holiday.
Think of all the songs yet to be sung. All the games yet to be played. All the ideas yet to be imagined. Think of all the hopes and dreams and promise yet to be realized. Of all the arguments against abortion, these are the most compelling. Life, what a beautiful choice.
And don't forget the milk and cookies for Santa.
It's Hecht's After Christmas Sale.
You're irresistible. You stand out in a crowd.
Join us for this great store-wide event. Find savings of up to 50% throughout our stores on every floor in every department. Great savings, great selection for you, your family, and your home. It's our After Christmas Sale. Shop Saturday and Sunday. Don't miss it.
That's Hecht's, especially for you.
How are we going to start the weekend?
Kind of chilly. I think the morning is probably going to be warmest.
Okay.
Believe it or not.
Unusual.
Yeah, we'll see decreasing clouds. It'll be breezy and cold with morning lows in the upper 20s.
Some Charlotte residents came to the rescue of a mateless swan that found Freedom Park just too lonely. Tom Burlington has details on Operation Swan Rescue.
Don't mess with this swan unless you've got lots of patience. First, they readied a net and tried baiting the swan out of the water.
Because once he gets out of the water, he's helpless. But as long as he's in the water, we can't get our hands on him because he can swim.
Instead of getting out, the swan simply dipped its graceful neck to the bottom to eat the bait that sank. A pair of mute swans were transplanted here to keep ducks and geese and their foul droppings away. Mute swans can be aggressive, but the idea didn't work. And then a few months ago, the swan's mate mysteriously died. To save this swan, they tried blocking the narrow end of the pond and drove him toward it. Again, the net was readied. The swan escaped the narrow end, so the game plan changed yet again.
We're going to try to get the swan to come in from the other direction.
But this guy anticipated their every move.
I think he's smart. Don't you?
Yeah, he's pretty smart.
I think so. Well, somebody said somebody let their dog out here earlier and he was swimming around after the geese. Can you imagine letting the dog loose in the pond?
But that's why they kept trying, and patience finally paid off. The swan was so tired he didn't seem to mind climbing in.
Vivian, wonderful! You're great!
And now the swan is off to a new, fenced-in pond where it will get a new mate. This is Tom Burlington reporting for the Carolina News Network.
But that's a bird in a foul mood.
And not happy either, huh? No.
Yeah.
That story's for the birds.
Oh, my gosh, I can't handle it.
We're done.
Let's wrap it up for News 2 tonight. We hope you had a wonderful Christmas. For all the weekend news, be sure to join Brad Jones tomorrow night at 6. Now stay tuned for Newhart, and good night. Merry Christmas.
News 2 closed captioning is brought to you in partnership with Centura Bank.